Okay, we finally made it. Let me just turn my lights on so you guys can see me a little bit better. Ruining the illusion here, aren't I? There we go. There we go. So I will just, hopefully we'll get a few people in here. I apologize for my lateness because my laptop camera wasn't wanting to work for some reason. So I have no idea what's going on there for a second, but we are good to go now. And I did say that I would go live at 4 or 7, and I had on Instagram, I put a poll up whether you guys would prefer me to go live at 4 or 7, and I got a 50-50 response. So I thought I will pretty much cut it down the middle and come on at 5. I do have my little co-producer here with me today. I have my little Mr. Sherlock here. This is my little baby. He has had a very big day. We had family over for lunch, and my cousin's little kids played with him for about 2 or 3 hours straight. So he is exhausted now. So he'll probably just be snoring next to me here. I do also have my in-laws dog and my other puppy on the other side of the door. So if you hear any dog barking, I apologize because my in-laws dog doesn't really do well with separation. So I normally want to try and do these lives probably Saturday morning, but for the next couple of weeks, for about a month or 2, I will be doing Saturday work. So it won't be every Saturday, but it will be probably it'll probably be 3 or 4 Saturdays over the next couple of months. So the time for the next couple of lives will be all over the place, unfortunately. So I'm not sure whether my next shift that I have to do for work will be the last Saturday of May, but I will let you know. So if you are unsure of what time I will be going live, make sure you jump on Instagram, and I will be always letting you know on Instagram what's happening and what time I will be going live. So that's that. I think this morning was the first time I've worked a Saturday in maybe 6 years. So I'm exhausted. I am totally exhausted. So I have my little cup of energy here in my little A Day Without Laughter is a Day Wasted mug. So if you see me sipping on this throughout the live, that is because I need a little bit of energy. And I actually worked 6 days this week, so that also would contribute to why I'm a little bit tired. My work is in the process of doing a big, massive declutter. Sorry, I've got my little steamer behind here. I'm really ruining the illusion at the moment, aren't I? As I mentioned in, I think, my first live that I did, this room is like the room where all the crap in my house just gets thrown. So we are a little bit cluttered, and I'm always trying to swerve around my lights to get to everything. Sorry, my nose is a little bit itchy. What was I going to say? I can't remember. Yeah, sorry, back to my work. That's what I was saying. My work is in the process of doing a big declutter and a big destroying of records. So that's why we're doing, that's what we're doing, destruction of records. And it hasn't been done for 20 years. So there is a crap load of stuff to go through. And it's exhausting because where we store all our records, it hasn't been put in any particular order. It's kind of just been shoved in there. So we actually have to go through everything, and we have to, figure out whether we're allowed to destroy certain things, and other things have to be kept. And I'm sure some of you have probably gone through that before with your works. If it gets left to not being done for a while, then it can be a bit overwhelming. So in this live, I know there probably isn't going to be much on Mecca or Sephora Australia to talk about. So I was actually going to just mention a few random bits and pieces that I wanted to talk about in that have been recently released in Australia. Do you want to get out, mate? Sherlock, come here. Yeah, so I just wanted to talk about a few things that have been recently launched in Australia, particularly the Inglot and JLo collection. So I would really love to hear your thoughts on the Inglot and JLo collection, and if you actually have purchased anything from the collection, because I'm still on the fence about a lot of it. So I'm just not sure. I follow Inglot Australia on Instagram, so I keep seeing all their stuff pop up, but it's not, at the moment, there's not much that really jumps out at me. So yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have a quick look on their Instagram and see if there's any decent pictures on there. Otherwise, I will just jump straight to their website. The pictures on Instagram haven't really been all that great in terms of advertising. I don't know. I like their advertising that they've done for the collection, but at the same time, I don't know whether it was the best for sales. So just give me 1 minute, guys. Hey, Jack. Jack, can you just let Sherlock out there?
Oh, Sherlock.
Thank you.
Are you causing trouble, mate?
Okay. So I'm just pulling up the Inglot website and we will go through the collection. So for the collection, they have released customized Z palettes. So for the collection, they released customized Z palettes, and each of them kind of have like space for two like as if it was two eyeshadows put together, but it's enough room for a blush or a bronzer, because they did release blush, bronzers, and highlighters in the collection. So I like the idea of having a palette where you can put maybe 3 or 4 eyeshadows as well as a blush or bronzer or highlighter. But I don't know whether it would be something that I would purchase. I do have a custom Inglot palette that I've made, and it's like I think they have a really good system with their Freedom systems, but I don't think I would purchase any of these Freedom systems that they've custom made for JLo. You're not a Freedom system. Freedom system palette. Circular. That's interesting. They have a custom circular Freedom system palette, so that must be for the compacts, for the round bronzers and stuff. That's pretty cool. I'm not really the biggest JLo fan. Like, I think she's pretty cool. Excuse me. I think she's pretty cool, but yeah, I wouldn't rush out and purchase something. I'm going to sneeze again. I'm so sorry, guys. Nope, it's gone. Like, I wouldn't rush out and buy something from the collection just so I could have her name on it. Something that does interest me, though, if any of you have ever seen any of my collection videos or Inglot hauls or anything, is I absolutely love their pigments. I think their pigments are one of the best on the market. So in the collection, they released, let me just check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pigments. Holy moly. They are $42 though. I think normally the Inglot pigments are $37 maybe. Let me check that. Let me check that for you. So the normal pigments are $31. So you're paying a whole extra $11 just so you can have her name on the packet. Right. I'm sorry, guys. My nose is running now that I've sneezed. But they are pretty colors. So there is this one here, which is Silver Dollar. It's this nice pinky, pale pinky color. I think that would be quite a nice color, that pinky color. But I do think I have something like it already in my collection. So I'd have to go in and swatch that one just to see. We then have this one here, which is Ethereal, which is like a purpley burgundy, I'd say a light burgundy color, which is also quite nice. That color is probably speaking to me more than the Silver Dollar. I think I pretty much have a color exactly the same of the Silver Dollar from their normal collection. I don't know whether I would pay $42 for these though. And then they have this Celestial color. Ooh, where's it gone? There it is. So we then have Celestial, which is a purpley coppery color by the looks of it. That's an interesting color. And then we have Cosmic Glow, which is a brownie, bronzy color. And Blazing Rose. That one's a pretty color. I don't know whether I would pay $42 for these, considering most of these colors already have a color in their existing range. So I don't know whether I would be willing to pay $42 for them. I think that's something that I would have to pass on. To pay an extra $11 for a pigment is a little bit ridiculous. Then we have their Freedom System eyeshadows, and they released a pretty hefty amount of eyeshadows in this collection. They all have this JL imprint on them. I've seen some swatches and big photos of these eyeshadows in a palette, and none of them really interest me all that much. Maybe this color, because it's a pretty unique color. It's a bit of a brownie mustard color, so that one probably would interest me, but all the rest are a bit so-so. I've seen swatches of them, and I've seen them like the what are they called? The advertising photos on like their Instagram using these colors, and they just don't really seem to perform all that well. So I think I would probably skip. My nose is just going mental at the moment. I think I would probably skip most of the eyeshadows except that sienna musty color that I just showed you there. I think that would be something that I would want to look at, is that particular color. We then have blushes. So for those of you that aren't all over what's going on with the Inglot and JLo collection, in the whole entire collection, there's about 70 items or something ridiculous like that, which I was so impressed with. Normally you see maybe like a capsule collection of 1 or 2 products, but this one was like a whole entire range to do a complete whole face for multiple different skin tones, and I think that was fantastic. And I really appreciate that they brought out new products rather than just rebranding their existing products. I think Inglot has done this collection really, really well. And I think JLo was a great person for them to pick to get their name out there. I think JLo, because Inkblot doesn't really do much social media marketing. They don't really push their products down anyone's throat. They don't really give out PR. I mean, I know there's a couple of countries where they do give out PR. In Australia, I don't think I've ever seen an Australian influencer receive PR from Inkblot, which I think is a big faux pas for them. I think they could really be making some serious dosh if they did like up their PR. But I think using JLo to get their name out there into the world, I think that was a great maneuver for them. Now, next we have blushes. And it looks like there's 3 blushes in this collection. There is a paley pink color, just like this one. And then we have a dusty rose color. And then there's also this color almost looks like a contour color. But the first 2 colors, I am interested. I am interested in those first 2 colors. And $22, I'm pretty sure $22 is their normal price for blushes. The eyeshadows normally are $12, so you're looking at an extra $3 for the eyeshadows. The blushes, I am interested. These 2 blushes, these actually look quite nice, and I think they would look really nice on my skin tone. I would definitely want to check them out. My issue with Inkblot, though, in Australia particularly and Queensland, we have 2 stores in Queensland, and I don't live near either of them. It's about a 2-hour drive for me to get to either of them. So this collection will probably most likely be sold out before I can even get a chance to go in there and swatch and play. So that's a little bit disappointing for me because I'm not really willing to purchase them online. I'd like to see what they're like in person before I make that commitment. Now, they also released in the JLo line pressed powders, which you don't usually see in collections. So that's a pretty cool one. I don't need any more powders, so I'm not going to even bother looking at them or showing them to you. And I have really cheap powders from the drugstore or from like Priceline that perform really well for me. So I don't really feel the need that I have to purchase any new ones or any. These are $36. So that's a bit hefty. We then have sculpting powders. And I think they've done pretty well with the sculpting powders. I don't need any more sculpting powders, contours, or bronzers. So I'm going to skip over them. They're $30 each, so not bad. We also have bronzers, which are $38, and they're in the round pans that you can put in the compacts. We then have the Live in the Highlight Illuminator for face and eyes. Looks like we have 2 colors in these. These look like probably more of a body bronzer, but these do look really nice. I think this is what we refer to as the product for the JLo Glow. This one here is probably too dark for me. I think I've seen pictures of these and they are quite a big size. They're 2.5 grams. So I probably wouldn't really use all of it, but this lighter one I would like to swatch. I have swatched some of their like body sparkle highlight products before, and they actually are quite nice. They have like big pots of I can't remember what they call them, but they're like body shimmers. And then they have little tiny pots of body sparkles, which is like that stuff that you dust across your décolletage to like make you glisten like a goddess, which I have the Body Sparkle and it is phenomenal. I use it on my eyes. I don't use it on my body. Then they have a Freedom System highlighter trio, 2 of them. One's like a pinky color and one's a goldy color. So we have 2 here. They're both $36 each. I've never really been, I've always, Inglot have like eyeshadow pans, which are like their normal square eyeshadow pans, but they have like 4 different colors in them. And they're very, I don't know, to me it's a little bit strange how they do that. I guess it saves space in your palette, but at the same time I feel like all the colors would mix together, which I feel like would turn out really badly on your eyes. But anyway, then we have a mascara, which I do not need a mascara, so I'm going to pass over that, and it is $45. No, thank you. Then we have lipsticks, and I believe there's 8 lipsticks, and 4 are matte and 4 are like a satin. Out of all of these are $38 each. These 2 here, I think, are making me curious. We have a nude color called Floor, and we have a red called Besame. So that's those 2 there. I mean, I don't need any more lipsticks, and I really don't need any more red lipsticks or nude lipsticks, but those 2, I need to swatch them. I really, really need to swatch them. And then they have these matte ones. This one would not suit me at all because it's like a brick brown. This one would probably almost make me look dead. And then we have these 2 Flamingo. Down the bottom here is not too bad. Not too bad. We have brow liners. I don't need any more brow products. And we have eyeliners. Lip glosses. I don't need any more lip glosses. And eyelashes. Is that it? That's it. That's a whole entire collection. So a hefty, hefty amount of products there in that Inglot collection. I'm really impressed with what they've done with that collection. Now, I'm just going to jump over to Instagram now and just quickly talk about a few new releases on the market this week. I was going to go through the Mecca and Sephora new releases, but I think I might leave that till next month and we can have a bit of a trawl through that because I believe there are quite a lot of products coming to Mecca in the May release. I think pretty much everything that was released at Mecca Land is being released in May. So I'm pretty excited about that. So we will talk about that in May, and I may even possibly, depending on what's released in May at Mecca and Sephora, I may actually even have some products with me to show you like live swatches and whatnot. Okay, so we're gonna jump over to Instagram, and we're going to just trawl through Instagram a little bit. So I'm going through the Beauty News official Instagram page. They are all over the new releases. They do all the hard work for me. I just go straight to their page and they just like repost. They're a bit like Trend Mood, but an Aussie version. So I like supporting them. Kat and Hailey are totally beautiful. They are amazing girls. So if I'm ever looking to see what is new releases on the market, I just go straight to their page because they just like repost things from all the beauty brands' websites, and it's all in one place for me. So the first thing that popped up in my feed today is the Besame Marvel collection. So Besame you can't get in Australia, so I won't be able to get my hands on this at all, but I still wanted to talk about it because there's this video which is pretty cool of their lip glosses kind of being made, and it's really cool. How cool is this? How cool are they? that's about it. Like, I wouldn't purchase anything from this collection. These lip glosses remind me of the ones that you used to get from like Cosmetics Plus when we were in primary school. It had the little roller ball on the end with the dried flower inside and the horrible fake smells. That's what they remind me of. But I just thought their advertising campaign showing the lip glosses was really cool and really well done. So I just wanted to show that to you, but I won't be purchasing it at all. Then we have 2 new palettes from Huda Beauty, and they are called the Gemstone Obsessions and the Coral Obsessions mini palettes. So that's these 2 here. This is what they look like. I don't think I will get either of these. They look really nice palettes. The Coral Obsession looks quite nice. It looks to be quite on trend at the moment with that coral palette and that little pop of yellow. Wonder who they're trying to copy there. Well, not copy, get inspiration from. The Gemstone palette is a bit so-so, so I'll pass over that. But the Coral Obsessions it's intriguing, but I don't think I need it. I'm sure I have plenty of coral ones in my collection. Then we have the Makeup Geek Power Pigments coming in 10 bold shades on the 3rd of May. These I'm quite interested in. I would be keen to see how much these are. And last time I ordered from Makeup Geek, well, I didn't do the ordering because I didn't want to. My husband got me some of their eyeshadows one year for Christmas, and I remember him saying that shipping was ridiculous. And when you convert it into Australian dollars from American dollars, it like doubles the price, which is like heartbreaking, and your wallet just starts screaming at you in pain. Oh, I'm just going to reposition my legs. But these look quite nice. They are really bold, fun, poppy colors. I don't know whether I would probably wait until I had a couple of things that I wanted to order from Makeup Geek, but I think this is a really great move for Makeup Geek because they've kind of died down a bit. So I don't know what they're doing over at Makeup Geek. I know Milena went through a lot of like personal issues in the last year, so I think that might have been why Makeup Geek kind of just had a bit of a break from the new releases. And I totally understand that. But I think this is a good move. I think really bright, poppy, vibrant colors are the rage at the moment. So I think this might be a good move for them. And I hope they sell well, and I hope they perform well. I'm going to wait and see how they perform before I make a final judgment of whether I want to get them or not. Then we have the Kat Von D 10-year anniversary collection. So this one, there's a palette which looks a little bit like the Movida Loca palette that was released a couple of years ago. And it looked a bit like a record, and everybody was complaining that they didn't get their hands on it. We also have some limited edition Metal Crush compacts, highlighters. Yeah. So here's the thing. I'm a little bit disappointed with Kat Von D at the moment. I know she made a big deal. She was coming to Melbourne to release her eyebrow products. I think she was supposed to be here today in Melbourne or next weekend in Melbourne. That has since been cancelled. And the whole thing was if you purchased a Kat Von D product this week or next week, I can't quite remember, you got a ticket to meet her. And now it's cancelled. I'm just a little bit disappointed. So, I mean, this palette doesn't really speak to me. I know a lot of people rave about the Movida Loca palette. I would be 100% willing to give this a chance and give it a swatch, but I'm not sure whether I would. I'm not sure. I'm not sure whether I would actually purchase it. The Kat Von D eyeshadow formulas never really stood out to me all that much. The next palette that I'm going to talk about is the, I think it's Cleonade Cosmetics Archeo palette. Now, this palette, these are the colors in the palettes, supposedly. These are the colors. So their paleo palette was really popular, apparently. This retails for $70, which is a bit hefty for a palette that has 12 eyeshadows in it. And or you can get it in a pack. So with the Archeo palette and the Paleo palette for 128 Canadian dollars. I'm not quite sure how much that converts to in Australian dollars, but $70 Australian is a hefty, hefty price. I'm not sure if these guys ship to Australia, but I do know that there was a lot of hype about the Paleo palette, and apparently it was a spot-on palette. I'm a little bit scared, though, to give it a try for 70 Canadian dollars. So I'm not sure. Okay, the next is the Laura Lee Los Angeles Nudie Patootie palette, and this is what it looks like here. I know in the photos here it does look more pink than it originally did. In the original campaign photos, it looked more nude than it does now, but since people have started swatching it, they're showing that it's quite a lot more pink than it originally looked. So Beauty News have actually commented on this photo saying that shipping to Australia is over $70 US, which is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. This is the second palette by Laura Lee. The first one didn't interest me, and the second one doesn't interest me either. So I'm gonna pass over that. I'm just seeing if there's anything else that I want to talk about before we finish the live. Oh, this actually is one I want to talk about. So Nabla Cosmetics is coming out with a new palette called Soul Blooming Eyeshadow Palette, and this is what it looks like. I have been wanting to try Nabla Cosmetics for ages. Look at this pretty eye look that who created this? Levine Cosmetics. She created this eye look using the Soul Blooming Eyeshadow Palette. I really want to try Nabla Cosmetics. I've heard great things about Nabla. So I think this palette actually I'm quite intrigued about, and I think it might be something that I want to pick up. As soon as I saw it, I was like, yes, I need that palette. It's beautiful. It's got a lot of cool tones in it, which you don't see very often done well, and I think they've done this quite well. So I want to jump on the Nabla Cosmetics website and see how much that palette is and how much shipping would cost. I know they have a couple of other palettes, so maybe I would purchase more than one item from them to try and justify it. But I'm really interested in that palette. I think it's beautiful. This is another look that same makeup artist made with the eyeshadow palette. It's just, yeah, I really like this eyeshadow palette. I really, really like it. Guys, do I need this eyeshadow palette? You need to talk me out of it. You need to talk me out of it. This is the swatches of the eyeshadow palette. It's really pretty. It's really, really pretty. Guys, you need to talk me out of this. I think I need it. I think I need it. How much are you? And they're vegan, they're cruelty-free. I think Nabla, let me check. Where's my list of? Yes, Nabla's on my list of 18 brands that I want to try in 2018. Guys, this might be the palette that makes me purchase and makes me try Nabla Cosmetics. I think I've made up my mind. I think I need it. I'm almost certain that I need it. Unless you guys can talk me out of it. So any of those of you watching the replay and you don't think I should buy that Nabla palette, then you guys should talk me out of it. So I think I might cut this live short. Normally I stay on for about an hour, but I might cut it a bit short today because I'm a bit pooped and I kind of just want to have a nap and watch some Netflix. So that's going to be it for today, everyone. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure you do. And Monday's video will be probably the Mecca Beauty Loop box for autumn. So I'm super keen to find out what's in that box. I am dying to bust that thing open and see what's inside. If you haven't subscribed already, then make sure you do. I upload videos Monday and Friday, and I go live on the last Saturday of every month. And we talk about beauty products and whether I want them or whether I don't. I have a pretty extensive makeup collection. So as you've seen already, I'm quite critical of new releases. And I do also, I upload videos relating to Australian beauty. So that may be Australian reviews of Australian beauty products, Australian made, Australian owned, and whether that be like discussions like this about products to the Australian market, how you guys can get your hands on international brands in Australia or from overseas, random things like that. So if any of that interests you, or if that resonates with you at all, I will, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. Jump on over to my channel if you're interested in seeing anything else about me and have a bit of a binge watch, see what content there is there that might interest you. Make sure you give this video a big thumbs up if you're watching the replay. If you are watching the replay, I would love it if you could join me on live next month. So as I said at the start of the video, make sure you follow me on Instagram. My handle is @themakeup_enthusiast. So go over there, follow me on Instagram, and that way you'll know exactly what time I'm going live next month on the Saturday, the last Saturday of the month. So I'm going to jump off now. Thanks for everyone that dropped in. Thanks for everyone that dropped in, and thanks for everyone watching the replay, and I will see you next video. Goodbye, everyone.